Bones are amazing things. They hold us up, they support us, they make us strong. But bones have other uses. In the past, bones were thrown by diviners, seeking out the mysteries of the future. Now the bones are cubes, made of plastic or resin, but they still reveal things to us. As they fall from our fingers and rattle across the table, the story becomes clear. Welcome to Bone Throwers Theater, an RPG actual play podcast.
Thank you very much for listening to this episode of Bone Throwers Theater. My name is Jordan, and yes, I do have a cold, so starting off a little inauspiciously.
My name is Jeff, and we don't have characters yet, so...
No.
My name is Aaron.
My name is Aaron, and I'm a bone thrower.
This is Johnny, of course.
And this is Jeremy.
Yeah, so we have wrapped up Angel's Guard at this point. We're very satisfied with the ending.
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what has amazed me is like going through and listening to the beginning episodes. Because it's been a whole year since we recorded those. A year and a half.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, there was stuff from the very beginning that accidentally worked into the end of the story. Especially now that we're here and we're talking about it, the room with the books, the Riemann prayer book with the information in it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It started off with, that was our first clue, was the Riemann prayer book. And then that was sort of
The last clue.
The last clue.
So I thought that was really cool how it all wrapped up. And I had forgotten about that Riemann prayer book at the beginning. I completely forgot about it. And then it just worked out to be the perfect little end piece to the entire thing. But now we've decided to move on to a new world. A world that really doesn't yet have a name. A campaign that doesn't have a name yet.
We got some ideas.
We do have some ideas. We went through and we played a game of Microscope off the air, and it had some interesting ideas coming from it. Basically, the idea that we settled on was a world that was in an ice age, but in addition to that, there was like a political Cold War going on between several superpowers. Just to add a fun little twist to it, we decided that there were elementals, like magical familiars, that some people can have. As well as some people who can have one natural magic power.
Yes.
So you have the innates, and then you have the people who work
proxies.
the people who work with the elementals are called proxies in this world. So we are creating something that's a lot of fun, and it's really interesting because the elementals we discovered in Microscope actually physically affect the people. There's this one guy who is a main character.
He may come up in our story as a side character.
He might come up.
Very likely.
He actually, when he died, they did an autopsy, and they found out that he was a water was a water proxy, and there were like streams of water running through his brain. So, stuff like that. There's a definite effect from the magic in the person on the world. Now, we discussed this a little bit before we started recording, just on our private chat, but we haven't really nailed down what era we want to play in terms of the timeline. Yeah. This cold is so... Oh my god.
We had
pretty much narrowed it down, but
3 people picked the same one.
Yeah, it's the 6th era of the world, which is scientists discover that long-term symbiosis with elementals brings about marked changes in personality.
Ooh. Wow.
And I think that was the era that also had the war shifted from what countries you were from to
type of person you were.
What type of abilities you had. Whether
Almost
you were
your class rather than your...
Were you a proxy? Were you an innate? Or were you a common person?
There's also the innate purist group called the Chaste that rise to power.
Oh, yeah.
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 The war shifts strictly to the innates against the proxies. Yeah.
That was after the purification, though, wasn't it?
I think that era kicked off by, wasn't it the proxies and the innates teamed up to fight some common faction that was causing problem or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then eventually they started fighting amongst themselves, and yeah. So there's lots of directions we could go with that era.
I know I chose that era because there's a lot of different wars going on, so it can make for lots of interesting gameplay.
Yeah. And it could have some tensions with characters based on what characters you choose to
Go with.
Yeah.
So if you want to do that, that era is perfectly fine with me. There's also Era 5, where the activists build a new superpower to free the wildlife and the elementals. I think we discussed that one briefly.
That was my second choice.
Yeah. And then, Jeff, you said the first one.
Yeah, the very
Had
first
nothing
era.
fleshed out
It
at
had
all.
nothing in it at all.
Which blank slate. I mean,
A blank slate. It's nice, but it's hard at the same time. But it's a pretty clean cut era. They found
The elemental.
Elementals.
That's what Jeff wants, is the story of how the elementals were discovered.
I just think it would be a cool story to build on.
Yeah.
Personally,
Valid.
though, as someone has pointed out to me, it may make a much better novel.
Yes.
That would be a
than
good novel.
If someone needs to write it, maybe we could write it together as a group. Publish on Amazon. First ever Bone Throwers Theater collaborative novel.
That would be cool.
Stay tuned.
Coming to you in 2020.
We need to get started on it now, because if we wait till this airs, someone else will be like, "Oh, that's a great idea,"
I know.
and do it.
It's very true.
Do you know how many times Terra Proximus got stolen by people?
I mean, there was, when we first started the Microscopes thing for Terra Proximus, immediately when we were like, all right, let's run this, let's do a campaign with this, 2 movies came out that were like, wait, this is what we just came up with. So those instances, obviously they were making the movies well before.
Yeah.
That was like happenstance. But then there was another instance where after we started airing, another story came out, and it was like, wait, this is almost
the TV show.
Yes.
I just finished it. Yeah.
Did
The
you have
parts that I've listened to? Yeah, I can definitely see the correlation.
Yeah. There
came out first.
There is one scene, oh my goodness, one scene in that, I mean, it matches up perfectly with the episode of Terra Proximus and the episode of this TV show. And it's like, this conversation is almost word for word
Yeah.
between 2 characters that were...
Okay, Hollywood writers out there listening to us, if you're going to take our story, at least give us credit.
Here's the thing: we release this under Creative Commons, so you can reuse it,
Just
but
give
you
us
can't
credit.
profit from it.
And this
Maybe
TV
they didn't.
This TV show is still running.
Yeah.
Still on the air.
It's still on the air, so
It's a pretty good show.
it's a pretty good show.
But I'm just waiting for like Elizabethan style fantasy. Because like if there's a spy movie in an Elizabethan's fantasy world, I know exactly. I know people who know intellectual property lawyers, and I can make some phone calls. Anyway, quick vote. Era 6.
That was my
Yeah.
first choice.
First choice.
First choice.
I'm fine with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Era 6.
All right.
Done. So let it be written. So let it be done.
Make it so.
So let's go ahead and talk about what we want for a concept for the party.
We were talking a little bit ago that we either all have to be the same faction,
A
parts of
unique
the same
group.
faction, that there's a reason, or parts of different factions that there's a reason why we are collaborating at this point.
We could be part of the same faction. We could be part of the same country that is resisting sort of this notion that you have to be aligned with
The rest of your people.
The rest of your people. There's also a time in that era where 2 of the factions, if you want to, they're working together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we could be
With the innates and the
innates and the
Proxies.
proxies were working together at one point during that era. So
Now they're
Right.
not.
Or even subversive parts of our own factions that are working with our faction, but also resisting on the sidelines. Or we have friends, or we have connections with
or we
the other
could be the
factions.
group that causes the split between the joint venture.
yeah. Or we could get very PvP and be technically all one faction, but have a mole that is actually of the other faction as part of the group.
Gaius Baltar from Battlestar Galactica, where he's all for the humans, but he's got the head Cylon. Or we have 4 players. We could have one. one set of 2 from one faction and another set from.
Yeah, I hate to do that to you as a GM.
Yeah.
But then we can even do parts where we work together for a period and this kind of thing.
Definitely be leaving on our own little things sometimes. But
I think the easiest thing to do would be to either do the time where you had 2 of the factions working together, or we choose to be all one faction.
Yeah, that would be the easiest.
If we want some dynamics of what the characters are doing, probably be the time the 2 factions are working together. So, because I know Jeff has his heart set. I was like, I want to be a proxy. I want to be a proxy, and
not necessarily. He just wants to be a healer.
But so the other thing about being part of the faction, I don't think that being part of the faction necessarily means that has to be your character. You can be a proxy and have a lesser influence. Same thing, you can have an innate. The innate is like, I can tie my shoes with my mind.
Yeah.
I mean, with one supernatural ability, it's such a small supernatural ability that's like, it makes no difference in your character development.
I can put butter on all your toast.
well,
Right, I mean, so when you really
are
think
we getting that specific with the one?
No,
special
I'm just saying,
I love that
it's like
special ability.
your faction doesn't necessarily have to be the defining character trait.
Your hero name, Butterscotch.
I can turn into a random useless object. I'm one of the Wonder Twins.
A bucket.
Shape of something awesome. Form of something useless.
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't have to be your defining trait. It can be just a piece of you without being all of you.
Yeah.
So do we have to decide before we start character creation? Is that something we can...
Well, we at least have to figure out what we want to do as a group.
Okay.
Because if we don't know that, then character creation is like, I make a robot, I make a Zeppelin pilot, I make a talking monkey. You know, and it's like, how in the hell are we going to get you all to work?
Well, that's the GM's problem to deal with. Come on, GM.
No, it's the party's issue to figure out, and then I set the game to the tone you want.
That's it. I'm playing a talking monkey.
We said no talking animals, John.
We did say no talking animals.
It's in the no column. It's the let it be written, so let it be done. By the way, just as a plug, I just finished the book Ack Ack Macaque. It's a science fiction novel where the main character is an uplifted monkey who spent his life playing a World War II fighter pilot.
So let me get this straight.
Yes.
You're giving a plug for Ack Ack Macaque.
Yes.
Because you liked that.
Yes.
And you didn't like Ready Player One.
Ack Ack Macaque won the British Science Fiction Award of 2013.
They're British. I don't think they really count. I mean, seriously.
We're sorry, Britain.
We love you, Britain. Some of us might want to move there someday. We love you, Doctor Who.
Okay, moving on.
Okay.
The monkey has more character development than Parzival ever did.
So, I am an innate.
You want to be an innate.
I mean, I do like the... It's intriguing of us all being commons.
Yes, it is. It's very intriguing.
Maybe that could be a one shot.
Yeah, I was like, we can do a one shot in this campaign.
A janitor one shot.
Yes, we're all janitors. Throw back to Terra Proximus. There we go.
There you go.
That would be a good plug as well.
We need to have make sure Carlin is available to come in and guest record with us for that one. He'd be like, yes, I'm all over that.
He's wanted that one shot for a long time.
Yes. Kevin Sorbo.
Doesn't that look amazing?
Jordan is showing us a picture of the cover of
Ack Ack Macaque.
Ack Ack Macaque.
Of a revolver-wielding monkey with a stogie.
Yeah.
It's fair.
So what's he got in his right hand? It's a rifle. It looks like a rifle.
Bazooka.
Yeah, it's totally a bazooka because he's got the...
A monkey with a pistol, a cigar, and a bazooka.
While wearing a fighter jet.
Best British science fiction of 2013.
And he's got a
Just
flight,
putting it out there.
he's got a flight jacket and
Best novel.
a leather cap with those giant
Aviator
goggles.
That's fantastic.
And Zeppelins.
Zeppelins.
So that's why you wanted to throw Zeppelin in?
That and also... I listened to a podcast that was all about Zeppelins, and They actually, I did not know this, but the thing that they found that could keep the hydrogen the best, the lining of cow stomachs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're flying in all this opulence, and it smells like a butcher shop.
Yeah. To get rid of that smell is why they coated the Hindenburg and the dope that was so flammable.
Yeah.
Huh.
Today we learn. So you guys want to be working together
As different factions.
2 factions working together.
Yeah.
What is your motivation for working together?
The commons are a threat.
So we're calling the people who are not special. That's dark.
Yeah.
Okay, that's...
So we're
How was that written? How was that written in there?
The first bullet point.
The leader of the group Healing Hands, Redneck's Near,
Oh, yeah.
is seen to be a remarkable resemblance to the royal family of Marnaline. Alexander Turin has been living for 3 centuries, life extended by being a water proxy. And Alexander Turin is the guy we talked about. When an innate terrorist separates him from his elemental, he dies. Autopsy shows his brain has been mostly channeled through with encapsulated pockets of water. Learning that the elementals can change behavior, riots broke out, and the commons, people without powers, attacked all proxies, resulting in the first stages of the purifications. And then the commons actually lost that.
So the commons are rising up to wipe out the innates and the proxies.
Well,
Well,
it
the
sounds like
proxies.
just the proxies.
Right.
Because the proxies
And
are
then I think the
being
thing goes
altered.
into then the proxies go in and ask the innates for help.
That's the next one. Proxies ally with innates to stop attacks by commons. After defeating the commons, the proxies are attacked against the innates.
So, do we know who starts that attack? Did it say? Or they just start fighting? So we don't know.
It just says the proxies attacks against the innates.
Ooh, I like this. Now we can start to hint at some tensions between
Between characters and between factions.
And then as this happens, there's this purist group for the innates called the Chaste, and while there are these wars against this battle between the proxies and the innates, the Chastes start to grow in popularity. And then an international group of innate astronauts are spending a long time in orbit. They see what looks like the reversed comets streaking out of the atmosphere. Elementals have broken their bond with humanity and are fleeing the planet.
Oh, yeah.
So does that mean there's all the proxies are dead or what? We don't know.
Okay. This could be fun.
Yeah.
This will be fun.
Yeah.
This could be terribly boring.
So I think we should play towards the beginning when it seems like the proxies are being hunted by commons.
Sounds good.
Don't forget, there is a faction of robots somewhere out there.
Yeah, there are androids.
Oh, yeah. About them.
Going to section 5, free life is led and organized by androids who have been running an animal refuge. And then Marnaline, one of the nations, Marnaline, has organized a group of fire proxies to burn the refuge to the ground.
So you said you're wanting an innate.
I'm gonna be an innate.
I was thinking about being an innate.
I could be an android who pretends he's an innate.
See, it would be much easier for the android to pretend he was a proxy.
That's true.
Didn't we say that there was something connecting
So you can use proxies.
Well, we talked about the androids were being powered by the elementals.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why it would.
Yeah, so they
it would
they
work.
basically are proxies.
Yeah.
Just artificial ones.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I don't want to be an android.
I'm contemplating in my head the advantages and disadvantages of either.
What are some of the advantages of being a proxy?
Of being a proxy, well, you have all the different elements to choose abilities from or connections to.
We never fully fleshed out what advantages the proxies actually give you. So,
Yeah.
whereas the innate you're stuck with one power only, whereas a proxy you may have multiple powers
That's
tied
true.
to that one element.
We'll have to look through the rule book and see. Oh, by the way, we didn't mention this.
We're going to be playing.
We're going to be playing an open D6 game from West End Games. This is D6 Adventure that we're using as our basis. Hey, girl.
Hey.
Oh,
you're a hey.
We're not role playing yet. So yeah, it's very similar to Mini 6. It does have a more concrete magic system. Concrete is kind of hard to define it. It has a recipe system of how to make your own magic. But it does.
Which we may be doing for innates.
Yeah.
And
Well,
proxies.
And proxy.
Oh yeah.
But it does have some pre-calculated spells in here as well.
Because, I mean, if we have 2 proxies, likely, I'm leaning towards proxy. We might be able to run an all proxy.
Well, no.
Well-
you were wanting to be innate, right?
Yeah, but now I'm
Oh,
seriously,
okay,
now
okay.
I'm seriously thinking.
I'm thinking I want to be innate.
No, I'm
Okay.
seriously
I
thinking
wanna-
Android. But
After playing a magical character, I want to try and limit myself to one thing, and then
invisibility. But Jeremy loves playing characters with magic in every system. You do love playing characters with magic. You don't always, but you
no,
love
don't
doing it.
always. I mean, in Terra Proximus, Jeff was the only character that
Yes.
ended up with magic.
Yes.
Yeah.
The only reason that his character ended up with magic was because he had such a hard time.
Guess he was a tree
fleshing into
hugger.
Well, no, he had such a hard time fleshing into the character that I'm like, I'm just going to force something on you.
Well,
Yeah.
also all the rest of the players like main characters, and he built a support character.
yeah, he did.
So he needed something to make him
A main
different,
character.
stand out from the rest of the red shirts.
Yeah. I
A lot
loved
of people
building a red shirt,
A
though.
lot of people died. Alright, 1 and 8 at least. I'm still deciding.
You guys are only in proxy. You're making me the only innate in the group.
So I could.
I'm not going to be a proxy.
Okay.
Because to be honest, the character that I had is more of a common, but I can do it with a proxy easier than I can do it with an innate, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be an innate.
So 2 proxies, 2 innates. This could be good.
This is be interesting.
Punch
Yeah.
you in the face.
So Jeff is a proxy.
Yeah.
Aaron is a proxy. Johnny is innate.
Jeremy
And so
isn't.
is Jeremy.
Yes.
All right, gentlemen.
Start your engines.
Start your engines.
Water proxy.
You want to be a water proxy.
Well, he wants to be a healer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to be a healer. I'm gonna have other things to me, but I want to be able to heal because we never have a healer and we always need a healer.
Overrated.
Ooh. Unless I did a plant elemental.
Earth.
Yeah, earth.
Well, there's
'Cause,
Earth.
well, I mean,
Depends on what elementals we're talking about. Because, like, in what we were talking about when we were building the world was what's that book series?
The
Furies of Calderon.
Yeah, there they have rock, earth, and plant, like tree, wood, as a separate element.
Life.
Elements that we have, right? Elementals. We have water,
Obviously.
air,
No.
earth,
Fire.
fire, and do we want a separate plant?
Heart.
elemental?
See, the thing is, I would think that plant would be like a combination of at least 2, water and earth, and maybe a third as well.
Because that's pretty complicated. When
Yeah.
You think of like
Requires 3 elements.
And light, which would be fire.
all
Can-
4 elementals are needed for
Your
life.
powers are combined.
I am Tree Man.
I am Lewis Master.
Yes. What are the basic abilities of water associated with water? So we got healing.
Right.
We know that they're more peaceful from our world build.
Right.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Freezing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. Because that's how the Ice Age came about.
Yeah.
They froze an elemental and they split it into pieces.
They can use it for communication.
Communication
Across
at
long
long distances.
Yes. A North Belisira funded
Yeah.
terrorist attack on Marneline uses air elemental technology to assassinate King Maxon. Centaurus spies in the king's inner circle cause an unexpected atmospheric shift when the air elemental attack came in contact with their communication devices.
With
The,
Bryce.
the frozen.
Yeah,
Or water.
spiraling the planet into a perpetual ice age.
Right. Communication. What are some basic things for air?
Deception.
Yeah, illusion things.
Flight.
Yeah. Weather control. To an extent, not on a global scale. A small scale.
Localized.
See, I would
Flexible.
That's good, actually, yeah. But they can also be
Fire.
considered flighty.
Yeah.
Earth.
Tectonic shifts,
Being able to pull strength from the ground.
rooting someone in place.
Yeah. Rooting someone in place. Being able to manipulate sand into whatever they want to use it for.
Sand daggers.
Yeah.
Glass daggers, yeah.
Alright, I'm officially going to be an Earth.
So, like a characteristic for that one, they would be stubborn,
Yeah.
like
Mm-hmm.
strong-willed.
Yeah.
Alright, fire.
Lightning.
Flammable gases.
Yep. Personality traits, temper.
Rash.
Yeah.
Like quick snap judgments.
Temperature control.
Yeah.
Small scale.
Yeah.
I think that's the other thing. All these are like very localized.
Unless you forcibly bond more than one of the same type of elemental.
Alright.
Alright.
And you still want to be a water elemental, Jeff?
Yeah.
Alright, who wants the first question?
I do.
Alright, well, we will hear that question right after this.
Have you ever watched an absolutely terrible movie and thought to yourself, what were they thinking?
Because we sure have.
So much so that we named our podcast after it.
What were they thinking?
Starring me, Nathan.
And Brendan.
Every other week, we take a bad to questionable movie and unpack it, so you don't have to.
And then every other week, we A your Q's with our mailbag.
Or, talk about whatever.
Yeah, no big whoop.
No big whoop at all. So that's What Were They Thinking?
You can catch us on Podbean, YouTube, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, and more.
On also a ton of platforms that Brendan made up.
Johnny,
Yes.
choose a number between 1 and 71.
54.
My relationship to God is...
My relationship with God is he's graceful.
Okay. You believe God is a graceful being.
As in, he gave me this gift.
Okay. Who wants to go next?
I'll go.
Okay. 1 through 71.
37.
The closest I ever came to murder was when...
Shortly after I discovered my innate ability, but could not control it.
Okay. So you had an incident where it went out of control.
And that was when a coworker and I had a disagreement on how to handle an emergency situation.
Okay. Jeff.
12.
My biggest regret was...
My biggest regret, choosing to bond with a water elemental.
Ooh.
Oh.
I like it, Jeff.
That's an interesting character.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Diving deep on
2.
the third question.
Number 2. The lie I continually tell myself is...
I chose this life.
Ooh! That's as good as
Yeah,
mine!
A chosen proxy and a forced proxy, huh?
In this era, how many nation-state players do we have?
Well, I think
There's
there
at
was
least
4.
4, yeah.
4 of this one. There was the original 3. Marlene, North Belisara, and Centaura. And then there was the new one.
Right, the one that was carved out.
Yeah. The island.
That new island. At least 4.
Okay.
All right, so Johnny, your
Alright, let's do 70.
70. Something I expect from others is...
Understanding.
Understanding.
Nope, not getting any.
All right.
17.
Tomorrow, I am going to...
I am going to
That's his name.
rescue my daughter.
Rescue you?
Oh.
From who shall be yet to be determined.
Jeffrey.
We are going to go with 60... I almost chose 3, but 62.
If I could do one thing differently from my past, it would be...
Well, that's so similar to your last question.
I know!
Yeah, it is.
It would be to choose an earth elemental.
Oh.
Okay.
24.
My secret love is...
Ooh.
I tell you what, this is...
You're looking at me, sir.
I'm thinking.
Is the GM your true love?
Janine.
Or is it an android?
Ooh.
Janine could be an android. Janine could be a common.
Oh.
I like how there was like no response to the android, but we said "come." We're like immediately. There's something there.
So you're secretly in love with a common.
My secret love is a common. I'm not a big fan of Janine. I couldn't
Just
whisper Janine in the middle of the night. It's
Just
gonna
the name that came to my head, so.
Gertrude.
be Lisa.
Somebody asked you, Patrice.
I'm trying to think about. Do I know Elisa? Do I work with Elisa? No, I don't. We can use Lisa.
Johnny.
47th.
My last thought before I fall asleep is...
Pineapples.
What will tomorrow hold?
That's no.
That's really generic.
It is really.
I reject it. I reject it.
Wow.
That's really generic, Johnny.
Get better.
Do it again!
Push yourself, son.
All right. I look forward to what tomorrow holds. I mean, no, seriously. Like, I'm trying to think of, like, more optimistic.
So you look forward to the good things that life will bring you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thankful for today, but tomorrow's going to be even better.
If you wake up.
I mean, if he doesn't wake up, then he'll be with God. So
tomorrow would be better.
Yeah. That's fair.
Alright, let's see here. I shall pick 52.
Are you sure you want this question?
Nope.
Oh.
But I picked it.
The bravest thing I've ever done is...
No. Charge into a riot to save a proxy woman that I did not even know.
And you're an innate.
And I'm an innate.
Is your daughter a proxy?
That's a good question.
Let me
Let you
mill
think about
that,
it, yeah,
mill that one over.
That would definitely give you good incentive to
Team up.
sympathize with
Yeah.
Jeff.
41.
The one thing I care most about is...
The photo album from my childhood.
Okay.
48.
I have a habit of...
Never standing up for myself,
Okay.
I think is what I'm going with.
Alright.
Or never speaking my mind.
I
Always
understand.
going with the flow. But yeah.
Yeah. So you're playing me.
Maybe. That could be fun.
So, speaking of that, I saw an article that I posted on Facebook. There's a new system
Yes,
out.
I saw that.
Somebody came out with a new game where you play the people at your table. Like, you play the person sitting across from you at the table.
So did I tell you? So for
The look on Jordan's face progressed from shock and wonderment to glee and maniacal glee.
So when I was home for Christmas last year, I ran a Monster of the Week session, and so I was GMing. For part of that, one of my brothers walks into a bar, and the session story was set in my hometown. And so the night that they were on, as they walked into the bar, was the night my brother would be running a trivia night at that bar. And so I got to GM playing as my brother while my brother was asking me questions. And so it was awesome.
Let's go with 22.
The person I hate the most is...
Ooh, that's a good question for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah?
My brother Charles.
Your brother Charles.
I'm not sure why yet.
Because he exists.
Alright. 7. Uh-oh.
Oh.
My perfect day would be...
Oh.
Huh.
Yeah, but see, to me, that's like a hard question to answer.
Ooh. I have the idea. I just need to decide the other elements involved. Not elements, but story elements.
Pieces.
I'm going to throw in some sort of culture references too. A day outside of my family's home dome, hunting with my brother and my dad if they were still alive.
Perfect.
We are going to choose. We're going to go with number 1.
I almost went with that one, but I know it's going to be sadistic.
One thing you still need to know about me is...
I may be calm and collected on the outside, but inside is raging judgment of everyone.
Oh, one might even say you're a boiling cauldron on the inside.
I was going to say with a raging sea, but
That's more what I was after, was a raging sea.
Immediately thought of MS3TK.
So,
Diarrhea is a
I like
storm
this, 'cause, like,
raging inside you.
outwardly, he's very calm and peaceful, which is a personality trait of water.
Right. Yeah, on the surface, everything is calm.
32.
I feel free when...
I'm completely alone and can finally let my guard down.
Johnny.
Alright, let's do 71. The other end of the spectrum.
Something I expect from myself is...
So Johnny got both what I expect from other people and what he expects from himself.
Control.
Okay.
I expect self-control.
And I shall pick 36.
When I want to comfort myself, I remember...
Jumanji.
That would not be comforting.
Which the new Jumanji is not nearly as good as the original.
I don't know. It looks awesome.
I never saw either.
What?
First
You
one
never
was-
saw the original?
First one's classic.
Yeah. It had spiders in it, though.
We're not in Terra Proxima anymore.
And spiders can't survive in cold weather. And we heard an ice age. Ching, ching!
Adaptability.
Nope.
Android spiders.
Oh, no.
The replicators.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So what was my question again? I totally forgot. I got sidetracked by Jumanji. When I want to comfort myself, I remember, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So you said that your dad and your brother both have passed away.
Yes.
You have a daughter.
Ooh. I remember that sacrifice always means a better life for someone else.
Okay. Jeffrey.
I would like to choose 20.
Oh, this is a good one for you. My philosophy on life is...
Oh, gosh, that's hard.
Work hard and you'll go far.
Timing is everything. This will become your catchphrase, I'm sure.
Yeah, Jeff, that's true. All your quotes have been
Your philosophy.
your life philosophy for the last 2 campaigns.
So I have this idea that my character likes helping people, likes giving them another chance, but is harshly judgmental towards people that abuse it.
Okay. So something like those who actually need help deserve it. Those who take advantage don't.
He doesn't like repeat offenders.
Yeah.
My door is only open so far.
My door is open. Shut it on the way out.
Yeah, I like that one. That one's good. Yeah, I'll go with that. I put down my door is open, shut it on the way out, but I clarified it with, I will heal you if you need it. I hate when it's demanded of me.
Okay.
So, Jeff, you said, we need a healer, and then you create a healer that doesn't want to be a healer.
That is a cool dynamic.
16.
If you knew me before, you would have said, meaning somebody else would have said. What would they have said before you chose to join with a proxy?
Yeah.
Now, let me get this straight. So is this someone who knows me now and knew me in the past?
No, it's if you knew me before. So it's someone who's only known you during this time frame of your life. Before I was Neo, I was Bill.
Yeah.
Mr. Anderson.
If you know me before, you would have said, there's no way they're going to take you.
You're going to go to the extremes, and there's Bill, and then John.
Yeah.
Just even past Neo.
Uh-huh.
I still have to watch those movies.
I hear good things about them.
I do. That's why I said I need to watch
Yeah, I
them.
need to watch
Which
them.
movies?
John Wick.
Oh.
Oh,
The first one's pretty fun.
The second one was almost as good as the first one.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. They were beautiful films. In the most violent way possible.
Yes. Yes. I'm trying to think of a way to say you're not going to make it, or you're going to have to make a lot of changes to get through in life.
You'll have to be more flexible.
You would have said I need to be more flexible.
And then you chose air proxy, or force air proxy, one or the other.
Oh my gosh. You forced yourself to be more flexible.
His biggest regret was...
The lie I tell myself is that I chose this life.
Oh, that it was forced on him.
Yeah.
Every time you say that, it makes me think of the elementals in the reverse role, like in Pokemon. Like, they're catching the humans.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And they're the ones actually using the humans to fight their battle.
But that's kind of some of what we've hinted at in some ways.
Yeah.
As far as some of the character development I'm feeling,
which is why my character has such an inner struggle.
What if that's the reason that the whole innate and proxy war starts? Because the proxy realized those are humans we can't affect.
Well, that's dark.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and call it this good. When we come back next week, we're going to go ahead and share with you
Fleshed out
characters, yeah, and talk about them in depth. Thank you so much.
Thank you for listening to Bone Throwers Theater. Our cast is Aaron, Jeff, Jeremy, Johnny, Mike, and Jordan. We are releasing this podcast under a Creative Commons Attribution, Non-Commercial, No Derivatives 3.0 Unported license. That means that you can share the podcast, but please do not modify it or try to gain financially from it. If you would like to visit our website, you can do so at bonethrowerstheater.com. If you would like to send us an email, you can do so at bonethrowerstheater@gmail.com. Our Twitter handle is @bonethrowerstheater, and also you can look us up on Facebook and Google+. And until next time, may the bones fall ever in your favor. This has been a Nerd Circle podcast production.